Hey Courtney, Jared here on Monday morning. I just wanted to give you a little bit of feedback over your lesson on Thursday. It was fantastic. We talked briefly, but just kind of go through and then provide you with the notes that I took to keep in your records, maybe use to reflect and those kinds of things. I met with you or I observed you on Thursday, November 15th. I just make a couple of notes about how amazed I am in your classroom. And part of that's, you and Holly kind of creating this climate, this culture for your students that's calming. There's music, the lights are off. But I'm just amazed by students' understanding of the expectations and then their willingness to comply with those. Maybe that's not the case in every single class that you have, but it seems like those routines have really been established. And hopefully you're able to see how powerful that can be. Because I'll tell you what, that's not every classroom. And it just makes your life much less stressful to be able to have that. And I think it helps students as well. So students enter the classroom and there's a warm up on the board as usual. And then what I really liked was the fact that you had sharing like numbers listed on the board. We'd kind of talked about how you choose and how you select which students share. This is a great thought to put five or so. I don't know if I noted how many students shared, but you're giving them a little bit of notice ahead of time. But then you're also ensuring that every student throughout the week is able to share. My question that I have in orange here is just, do you feel that students whose number or name or whatever is not up on the board to share that day, you feel that they're still participating at the highest level, recognizing that maybe they're not going to be called. So maybe there's a way to put four of those numbers up there and then kind of randomly call on two students as well. I don't know. Maybe it's not been an issue for you. Just something to consider. A couple of quotes here when you're moving on, your transition to the next activity, which was very quick. Okay, put those green papers away. You'll need your Chromebooks and a textbook for today. So you're clearly articulating to students what they need, what your expectations are. So who can tell me what we did yesterday after the quiz? Yes, Paige. So you ask this, you pose this question to kind of review. Hey, where were we at yesterday? Let's build upon that background knowledge. Let's remember where we're coming from. Okay, Paige, you have a response. Hey, does this sound familiar, everybody? And you're kind of getting head nods. Maybe you're getting some thumbs up or whatever. And then later on, you mention or you say, does this look familiar? Raise your hand if you didn't get into your essay yesterday. That gives you just kind of a visual cue. Hey, these are the students that either were absent or they weren't able to get into the essay. These are the students I need to make sure that I actually go and I spend some one-on-one time with. I really appreciated your use of screenshots to kind of lead students through this process, especially if it's their first time. At one point you noted, hey, this goes back to our unit question. I think that's really powerful to remind students, hey, here's our overall objective for this unit, and this is how this piece fits into that, to remind them of that. So I love the way you're able to review and connect new learning to prior learning. That's very powerful for students. You extended the time for the essay, and I was just curious why that was extended. Maybe found that students weren't able to complete it in time. And so the overall objective was to complete the essay by Friday night. I was a little bit confused, though, about what the goal was at the end of class, because students seemed to be at different places, different points, and then with about 10 or 15 minutes remaining, we moved into this game, kind of the game review, the bingo thing. You gave me the sheet of that, which is great. It's a great activity, but you recognized, and I think Holly did as well, that students were kind of all over the board. So maybe a little bit more clarity could be helpful in terms of, hey, you need to be at this point before you participate in the game, or these are the expectations for the end of the period. I overheard a quote by Miss Davenport, and I just had to share it because I think it's fantastic. A student asks her a question, which she is well qualified to answer, but she responds back to them, I don't know. What do the directions say? And I thought, it's so easy, and I fell into this trap all the time when I was teaching middle school and high school. And even in college now, it's so easy to just know the answer and provide the answer for students. but that doesn't encourage them to think for themselves. That doesn't encourage them to develop kind of that mental perseverance, problem solving that they need to succeed in life. And so a better approach would be this. I don't know. What do the directions say? Hey, let me encourage you to go back. I know that the answer to this question is clearly articulated in the directions. Why don't you go back to that? Because you don't really need me for this. If you need me, by all means, I'm there to support you. But if you don't really need me, then use the directions. So I thought that was fantastic. And then I just made a note that many students or a few students have been absent, and so I was just curious about how you were handling makeup work. So, anyways, appreciate your thoughts. I appreciate your time, and yeah, I've really enjoyed getting into the classroom to observe you this semester. So I hope that residency two goes really well. And if there's ever an opportunity where or something that you need from me, please don't hesitate to shoot me an email or stop by my office anytime. Okay. Have a great Thanksgiving break, Courtney, and I will talk to you soon.